Hello, good afternoon. This is Guillermo from STT. I am in charge of Motio area in terms of commercial activities. And this afternoon, we will explain you about our 2DMA product. 2DMA solution is something quite easy, very portable, and we will explain everything that can be done with this 2DMA solution. We will perform three different activities. We will perform a bike fitting activity, then gait analysis, and finally running analysis. All those three sports or movements can be analyzed with this 2DMA solution. So let's start. And as a small point, at the end of the webinar, we will leave maybe 10 or 15 minutes in order you to ask whatever question you have about this 2DMA solution. Thank you, and let's start. Welcome to all, okay? Behind me, we have in the lab a small setup with a bike. This is the camera and a laptop. In this case, and for 2DMA, all we need is a small camera, a tripod, and a small light. With this camera, we can capture the movement laterally, and depending on the activity you would like to perform or you are doing the capture at 60 Hz or 120 frames per second. At this moment, we have set up the camera to perform the analysis at 60 frames per second, and we will start doing the cycling analysis. For that, what we need is to set up, to place the camera parallel to the bike. Here is where the rider will be. So between 1.5 and 2 meters is all we need in the room in order to capture the movement and analyze the biomechanics. This analysis is a 2D analysis because the camera is a regular camera. It can be also done with a GoPro, a smartphone, or any action camera, but at this moment we are using a vision camera. I will ask my colleague Alberto to join us in order to start pedaling a little bit to put markers on several joints, and then we will start capturing. Thank you, Alberto. Can you please sit on the bike? Okay, thank you. Alberto is wearing some markers on several positions. I will start sharing my screen in order you to understand how the software works and what is the typical workflow. You will see how fast it is and how easy it is to get very interesting values, parameters, and to get a report in less than 10 minutes. Let's start. So I will start sharing my screen in a second. Share screen. Okay, this is the 2DMA interface. This is the small database we have. In this case, we have bike fitting users, free mode, gait analysis, running analysis. We will explain all this later on. And as I said, let's start with the bike fitting. We have created a user called bike fitting with the surname samples, and then we can capture one side, two sides, or from one side and behind. In this case, because we have just one camera, let's do a lateral analysis, what is quite simple, very fast, and very interesting in order to see how this software works. What I need to do is press this button, new capture button on the software. This will ask me, okay, what are you doing? Are you doing a bike fitting, free mode, gait analysis, or running analysis? As I said, let's start with the bike fitting. Okay, what kind of setup we have? One side, both sides, or side and back? Let's do one side. If I don't remember where to place the markers or what is the marker placement for the setup, I can press this icon on the bottom left, and this opens a PDF that explains very, very easily and very understandable where to place the markers on its setup, left side or right side, and these are the marker positions. So as you can see, with just 8 markers, we are using regular reflective tape markers, as you can see here. You can use as well white dots with a black background. Any mark that can be easily visualized by the software will work, okay? So I am placing, well, they are already in place. Can you hold the bike from the handlebar? So we have 3 on the arm, another 3 on the leg, and 2 extra on the foot. I will go back to the software and I will ask Alberto to start pedaling a little bit. The discipline I am setting, this is a road bike, so let's set a road bike and let's press OK. The name is a new capture, manufacturer, in this case, it doesn't matter, but we can set or select different manufacturer models, different manufacturers, different models, different bike size. Let's leave by default with all in blank, and let's press OK. Okay, sorry, this was a small crash. Let's launch again. Demo effect. I am used to it, so don't worry. Let's repeat. Let's go to the database. Let's select the bike fitting. Let's double check the camera configuration, individual camera, just to be sure that the system is detecting the camera. I don't want to happen the crash again. This is what camera is looking at this moment. So this is my hand, this is the live mode, and this is Alberto with the markers. And the camera is detecting those markers. I need to calibrate where the this plane is in reference to the camera. So to calibrate this plane, all I need to do is to measure one distance. For example, we can measure knee to ankle. Let me say, this is 400 millimeters. So I can press calibrate button. I am taking a new image and I am setting knee to ankle, it's 400 millimeters. This is all you need to do in order to calibrate the cameras. I can save it and I can go back to perform a new study. Let's repeat the process. New study. No, sorry, not new study. Let's select one side. Let's do a new capture. Bike fitting, one side, mountain bike. Everything is correct. This is Alberto. Okay, can you start pedaling, please? Okay, now Alberto will start pedaling maybe for 1 minute or 2 minutes in order to warm a little bit. We will avoid to wait that time. So at any time I can press this button on the screen, the record button. And we are doing a 10 seconds capture. With 10 seconds capture, it's more than enough in order to calculate some cycles and to get information from this pedaling technique. Okay, thank you, Alberto. Now Alberto can stop. I can place marker by pressing this button. So I need to set the elbow, the shoulder, the wrist, then hip, knee, ankle, heel, pedal axis, and then I need to set an horizontal reference. For example, a wheel axis to wheel axis. I am pressing compute, and in less than 30 seconds, we are having all information from this pedaling technique. Let's wait a little bit. Depending on the performance, this will spend more or less time. We are almost done. And what we get is this. So this is the playback of Alberto's pedaling capture. It was 15 seconds long. And we can see all these numbers on the right. So the knee flexion, the extension, the knee over pedal spindle distance, and then some angles, some distances. All these ranges can be modified. We can select the standard ranges, or we can edit our ranges in order to have, for example, road, professional ranges. And if I want to modify any one, I can set, for example, minus 10 to 10. Or trunk tilt must be below 45 and 65. So I can swap between the Road Pro ranges or the standard one or any one that I am creating. Once this is done, and if the capture is fine, I can generate a report. With just one button, this software generates a very easy to understand report that you can print it out or send to your customer. The report is a docx file, so it's completely editable. We can select here what kind of bike, we can modify any value, and we can have here a summary of the metrics. So all information about the lower body and the upper body, as well as some pictures from the Alberto's knee extension at the maximum flexion, maximum extension, and the knee over pedal. So when the crank was at 90 degrees. Okay, another extra feature that I want to show you for bike fitting is comparison mode. We can compare Alberto's movement versus anyone else, or also Alberto at any other time, maybe before the fit and after the fit. I can do a video overlay or a side-by-side comparison. Let's select a side-by-side comparison. Okay, I have no other study to choose. Oh, let's do another one with this one. This is another example, but it's useful for us, okay? So here we can see we need to synchronize both positions. Okay, and then we get capture 1 and capture 2 side-by-side comparison. So the first column is for the capture 1, the mid column is the difference, and the second column is the capture 2. Here we can see the side-by-side or video overlay in case we want to show one position versus the other one. You can see the difference, how the trunk and how the arms are differently placed on the handlebar. As an example, I will show you as well the same but with both sides. So bike fitting, let's see both sides at the same time. So in case you have two cameras, we can analyze both left and right side together. We can see here the left side and the right side. Another possibility is to use the side and back. Let's open capture 1, for example. This is a side and back example where we get information from the left side and then information about the mainly the hip. We can see now the hip movement from behind. All this is related to cycling with one or two cameras, and this is what you can do, as you can see, super fast and very easily. Let's move the setup and let's go into gait analysis. To do gait analysis, what we need is a treadmill and modify the marker position. We will see how fast it is. Thank you, Alberto Anurco. We can Thank you. So the setup is quite simple. Let's select the camera configuration, individual camera. I want to be sure what the camera is looking at. So we are here again. Thank you, Alberto. Alberto is wearing as well all the markers that we need to perform the gait analysis, but we can double check. Why? Because now he's wearing the arm, and we don't need those markers in order to analyze the lower limb, is what we are doing with the gait analysis. Let's calibrate the setup again. I believe that the markers didn't move, so they keep the 400 millimeters between knee to ankle distance. I need to set again 400, and once the camera is calibrated, I can go back to, I can save this one, I can go back to the setup and perform a new study. Let's close the bike fitting samples and let's go to gait analysis samples. Let's open one side and let's create a new capture. I am doing a gait analysis, one side setup, and if I want to check the marker position, similar as in cycling, I can see all we need is to place these 5 markers in those joints. So greater trochanter, femoral lateral epicondyle, lateral malleolus, subtalar, and lateral M5. I am double checking. Okay, you are perfect. Let's remove these ones, so we don't need those ones. Thank you, Alberto. You guys start walking, for example, at 3 or 4 kilometers per hour. Let's press OK. This is a walking webinar, for example, and the treadmill speed, let's set to 3, for example, 4. Okay, thank you. Let's set to 4. Now the system is connecting again with the camera, and we can start recording as soon as I'm pressing the record button. Okay, let's record a couple of seconds more, for example, 15. 3, 2, 1. I am stopping. Thank you, Alberto. And let's have a look to it. This is the capture. Let's play it back. It looks fine. Let's go to the first frame. Let's select the markers. So where is the hip? This one was the hip, knee, ankle, heel, and M5 markers. And again, I need to set an horizontal reference. So it's quite easy. If I am looking at the treadmill, I can set, for example, from this point to this point. This is the horizontal. Let's compute those data. So again, in less than half a minute, we will have all these calculations from Alberto's biomechanics. Okay, almost. Okay, and here it is. So we can see here the trajectories and the position of each marker. I am doing the playback. We can see how everything is captured correctly. The frame rate is more than enough, and we can just have a look to the numbers. There are some. Okay, I can see some errors. For example, here when detecting the initial contact and the terminal stance. Okay, we need to repeat this capture because there were no detection on the foot contact and toe walls. Let's repeat and let's see how it works. So let's do a new capture, gait analysis, one side. Okay, can you start walking, please? Can you keep the arms like that out of the handlebar? Thank you. And record. Let's record again another 10 seconds. And thank you. And let's set hip, knee, ankle, heel, and M5. Let's set the horizontal reference, for example, here. And let's compute the data. Okay, as you can see now, all the calculations are correct, and the system has detected automatically the foot contact and the toe off on each stride. Out of that information, we are completing all these parameters: stand phase, swing phase, some angles, and some distances. With this information, we can generate, in the same way that we did with the cycling analysis, the gait analysis. I am pressing report, and this generates in less than 10 seconds a gait analysis report. This is information about the anthropometry. I can fill all these descriptions, the goals and the purpose of the study. I can say, for example, webinar test, and then information about Alberto's gait analysis. Treadmill speed, total strides, the cadence, the stride length, and then information about the joints, hip, knee, tibial tilt, and plantar flexion of the ankle. A couple of images about the initial contact and the terminal stance, and that's it. So a very, very easy to understand report generated in less than 5 minutes. I am showing you just to, as an example, the both sides analysis. So in case we have two cameras, we can perform exactly the same, but capturing Alberto or anyone from both sides. I am opening it. In this case, it's my colleague Urko. And here we have both images capturing the stride analysis from left and right. As you can see here, there are two columns from the left side, right side, and if I generate a report, it's exactly the same, but for the both sides. I'm doing a little bit smaller. In this case, we have left stride length and faces, and right stride length and faces. Also the images from the initial contact and toe off from both sides. Information about the hip flexion and extension, knee flexion extension, tibial tilt, and ankle plantar and dorsal flexion. Let's continue with the running analysis. We don't need to modify the setup because we are doing exactly the same with the same setup, same camera position, capturing from one side laterally. So let's go back to running analysis. Running analysis, let's perform a new study. I am pressing OK. I'm doing running analysis from one side. I am opening just to double check the marker position. It's exactly the same for running and gait analysis, so I don't need to modify any marker placement. And I need to ask Alberto or to set the treadmill speed. 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers? 8. Thank you. Let's set the treadmill speed to 8 kilometers per hour. I am pressing OK. System is connecting to the camera. Camera is ready to record. Alberto is going to start running. And once he's warm and running constantly on the treadmill, I am starting the recording. Okay, we are recording 10, 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. This is up to you. How long do you want to record, okay? 10 seconds are more than enough, so I am stopping now. Thank you, Alberto. So we get 10 seconds of capture, and all I need to do is, again, I'm going back to the very first frame. I am selecting the marker placement. I need to set where the hip, the knee, the ankle, heel, and M5 markers is or are, and then I need to set the horizontal reference. I am pressing the compute button, and this in less than 10 seconds or 15 seconds is showing us on the screen all the biomechanical parameters calculated. Okay, here they are. So we get information about the swing phase, stance, hip flexion, knee flexion. The parameters are quite similar to the ones from the gait analysis, but as you know, the biomechanics is completely different. We get some values in red and in orange or green, depending if you are inside the ranges, close to be outside the ranges, or outside the ranges that can be modified and set by you, as I explained before in the on the ranges for cycling. This is exactly the same, and you can set your own for running analysis. You can set, for example, some cycles for men, for women, for children, for sprinters, for professional runners, or amateurs. Let's generate a report and let's see how it looks like. This is the running analysis. It's 3-page long with some anthropometric values, description of the capture. We should set here the speed is 8 kilometers per hour. Alberto probably is running, I don't know, 2,000 kilometers per year. And then we get this information. Contact, off, and biomechanical parameters about the running. This is the greater trochanter vertical displacement, the overstride from the greater trochanter, what is the stride type, the ankle track, and all these parameters were calculated out of those 15 seconds of capture. Let me show you quite fast another example, for example, from both sides. I'm not saving this. Let's go back to both sides from running. This was another sample record some days ago. In this case, the treadmill was at 10 kilometers per hour, and if I generate a report, we get a report with both sides, left and right, all together. We can see the images of the initial contact from the left and right, from one side and the other one, and the toe off, and then information for the hip, knee, tibia, and or fibula, and ankle information, as well as the trajectories from these are the ankle track, you can see, from left and right, overlap, knee flexion, and these are symmetry index on the initial contact. Only is that index is showing what is happening on the initial contact. Okay. As a very final point, I will explain the free mode. What is the free mode and what does it work? How does it work? And how can you use it? Free mode is not tracking markers in the same way that the running, gait, and cycling is doing. But because we have a camera and because we have calibrated that plane, we can measure on the screen. We can make annotation at any position, at any movement, and we can measure not only distances, but angles. So if I am performing a jump analysis, let's open this. This was a jump test that we did some days ago. So we have a small box, is 30 centimeters high box with a line on the floor. And this jump was very, very easy. As you can see, it's a 3 seconds jump. So what can I analyze here? I can go step by step, and I can see, okay, what is the height from this marker on the sacrum? Okay, this line. I am painting this horizontal line. What is the maximum height of that marker? In that case, this is the maximum height of that sacrum marker, so I can measure the jump height. What is the position on the landing of this jump? That's the position, so I can measure the jump horizontal distance. What is the maximum flexion of the knee? I can go to the knee maximum flexion that happens on this position at the second 1.82 frames, and there I am measuring the left knee maximum flexion. How can I perform this analysis with these tools on the top bar? So I can measure the angle at any position. For example, I can measure what is the angle on the starting of the jump. Here, what is the angle? So angle of the knee was from here to here to here, 158 degrees. What is the distance between, I don't know, this marker and this marker? I can measure the direct distance. This is 419 millimeters, and I can measure again from ankle to knee, 346 millimeters. So as you can see, with the same setup and the free mode, I can analyze this jump very, very easily from a lateral view, of course. Let's open another example. Back flexibility. My colleague performed a back flexion, and we can calculate those angles on the maximum back flexion. Another possibility is anthropometry. I can measure someone's body measurements if I can place or I can visualize small markers in order to be able to mark the distance I want to measure. In this case is elbow to wrist, wrist to shoulder, C7 to sacrum, or lower limb length. This kind of measurements can be done using this 2DMA tool. And finally, the knee varus valgus. As well, from a back view, I can place someone on the floor totally perpendicular to the camera, and then I can measure with the measurements and angle tool these varus valgus from the left and right side. Okay. Yeah. A colleague is telling me that we can also print it out, or we can generate reports from those free modes. Let's open, for example, the ones we did from jump analysis, for example, the free one, customers, free mode, jump test. I can press this report, and the report will generate what is happening at all the annotations that we did. So this is the annotation 1 performed at the second 0.109 with these angles and distances. This is the jump height performed and happened during the capture, and then the jump horizontal distance. This can be used for several ideas and several exercises that you want to use. Okay, I'll go back to the webinar, so the webinar video, and at this point you can start asking any questions you have about this 2DMA solution that is really, really portable. Is one USB cable, one very small camera that I can show at this moment. Let me stop sharing the screen. Okay. Let me switch off this light. So this is the setup: a small LED focus, the lens, the camera, and the USB cable connected directly to the computer. And with that setup, very portable, all we need is a 1.5 to 2 meters between the subject and the camera. We can perform all these analyses that I have explained before: gait, running, and cycling. Okay, let's read some questions that were done on the chat. Raymond is asking, okay, la calibración de bicicleta la puso en mountain bike. Probably yes. it was a mistake that I have made. I can't remember. I need to select the model I want to use. Otherwise, the final report will show me a bike that I was not using, of course. So if I'm doing a road bike analysis, I need to set what kind of bike I'm using. Same if you are doing a gravel or mountain bike or road bike or a TT bike. Okay. In the bike fitting mode, are average values given? For example, at deflection on the knee, can we get the mean and the maximum values? Okay, let me open. I should be sharing the screen in order to jump between the webinar and the software. Let me share again the screen. So I'm sharing the screen, full screen. Okay, Donatas was asking. Let's open bike fitting, one side. Okay, in this position, what we can see is the knee flexion and knee extension. Those are the maximum, the average maximum values, okay? And same for the knee extension. So the maximum knee flexion performed during all the cycles, the average value is 68. For the knee extension, exactly the same. So the average of all the maximum values was 129. Same with all the parameters. The COPS, the mean value for the COPS in this case was 63. So the system is calculating what are those measurements in all the cycles, and then is showing you, is plotting you, and is showing you on the screen the average value of those maximum values. In this case, the COPS can't be a minimum value, it must be a maximum value. The knee flexion as well, maximum knee flexion is the minimum knee extension, so that's why both are the maximum. And then the ankle, it's explained what is the ankle flexion or at 0 degrees, at 90 degrees, and 180 and 270. So as you can see, those are the maximum values for the lower body, and in the upper body, what we get is the average value during the entire capture. Let's go back to the questions. If you had a bike fitting turntable, can you use one camera and see the back and side by turning the turntable? Or do we need the two cameras anyway? Okay, we need to have both cameras anyway. We need, in order to record back and side, we need to record both at the same time. So that's why two cameras are needed at the same time. Marie is asking, in the bike fitting, what is the difference between the road mode and triathlon mode? Okay, there is no difference more than the bikes that you can select. And maybe you could have on your own software the road ranges that probably are very different from the TT bike ranges. But the measurement, the market placement, and the calculations are exactly the same. But because of how extreme is the position, that's why we recommend you set your own ranges. Okay. Alberto is asking, okay, can we customize the ranges? Yes, we can customize just by right-clicking on the ranges and setting your own. I can do it again very fast. So if on the range column, if I right-click with the mouse on them, I can see the standard one, or I can edit the ranges and create my own. Sorry. Right-click, edit ranges, and create my own. This is the standard one, but if I want to create another one called Guillermo's ranges, okay, now I have both Guillermo's range and standard ones. This is a feature, it's only available in 2DMA. it's not possible to do that on 3DMA for the moment. Thank you, Alberto. Daniel, okay, we will do another one in Spanish, of course, for all the Spanish users. Can we use full body gait in order to see shoulder, elbow, and wrist movement? Okay, you can perform and you can do the full body one, but the system is not tracking the elbow, shoulder, and wrist markers. That's why if you want to measure something about the upper limb, all you need to do is go back to the software. Let's open an example, okay? Let's go back to the software. Let's open the gait analysis, or, well, the question was for gait or for running? Full body gait, okay. Let's open a gait analysis sample. This is a webinar. This is the one we did some seconds ago. So if I play back, this information was captured from the lower limb, but if I want to analyze the upper limb, I can just measure the angle of the elbow at this position, and I am getting those 115 degrees. If I want to open the other one, and in this case the arm was freely, not on the handles of the, not on the bars from the treadmill, I can stop the capture at any time. And for example, there, let's capture or let's measure the distance between the elbow and the wrist, or let's measure the angle of the elbow versus the entire arm. This can be done, but the system is not calculating. The system is calculating only the lower limb, both in gait and in running. Okay, next question. Can I only get the system? Okay, I have the HQ markers camera, Kinect one. All we need is to have a MP4 video format that can be recorded with a GoPro, and a smartphone, an action camera, a tablet. I don't know if the Kinect can export or can generate a MP4 format. In case you have that format, you can upload that file to the software and then use it normally. Okay, Donatas is asking, can we place the camera in the front during the jump and measure the varus valgus? Of course we can. This is a regular camera that can be placed anywhere, and with the free mode, the limit is your imagination. So if you place from the front, you can measure how the knees are moving when you flexion. Okay, Roberto Jorge is asking how to set up two cameras for cycling. Okay, in case you have two cameras for cycling, we have two possibilities, as I said before. We can set up laterally, so the bike on the middle and one camera on the left and another one on the right of the bike, in order to have both sides together, or we can set one camera laterally and the other one from behind, in order to have lateral and rear from the rider. That's the setup, how it works. Okay, Roberto is asking, what kind of camera are we using? Okay, it's a good question. We are using a matching vision camera. These cameras are global shutter. They are very fast. You can go up to 226 frames per second. This is important not to have like a movement, and in order to see the marker perfectly well on each frame. Otherwise, you will see like a tail, and in that cases, it's difficult to set the exact position of the marker. That's why we need to record at high frame rate using action cameras, high quality cell phones, or good tablet cameras, in order to have the marker position correctly defined and correctly visualized on each and every frame. Next question. do you have the demo for the timed up and go test? This is asking BPEC. We don't have that model in 2DMA solution. We have those tests for the other solutions that we are offering, the inertial and the 3DMA solutions that we are offering. I can answer you that question over email later on if you are interested, but not for the 2DMA. 2DMA, as I said, gait, running, and cycling. Giacomo is asking, what marker can be used for the system? Any, as long as it's something visible and easy to set. You can use a small reflective markers with the camera. That's why we are adding that focus in order to be like a high contrast between the marker and the skin. But if you have like a black stickers with white center, that's also possible and useful for the system. I don't know if there are more questions. Aidan, I know that I have already answered this question. Okay, I think all the questions are answered. I want to thank you all for visiting us in this webinar. Me and my team is ready to answer all the questions you have. Same if you want another example or some kind of sample reports, or if you would like to test the system, just let us know and we can give you or some temporal license or give you the system in order if you are convinced and you want to start using it and providing service whenever you are doing the bike fitting, gait, or running analysis. Thank you all. I hope you enjoy this webinar today, and let's stay connected because we are doing more webinars, not only for showing our 2DMA solution, but the other solutions that we have, and also being more technical or be focusing more in specific details. Thank you all and good afternoon. Bye-bye.